she told her husband about it, and they prayed about it, and they eventually gave birth to this boy, and they obeyed what everything the angel said. So this boy grew up. There was a specific thing God wanted to do in the life of this boy, or through this boy's life. So that was the reason why God selected his parents. He was specific about the kind of parents he selected. He was specific about the instructions he gave the parents to do and not to do. And that was because of the kind of assignment God had in the life of the boy. So God wanted him to rule over the city and also fight their enemies. And as a result of that, there's so many things, so many instructions he specifically gave for the sake of that boy. So the boy started growing up, and the power of God was so much upon him. Remember, one of the instructions the angel gave to the mother was that both she and the boy should never take alcohol. So it happens that when he started growing to his teenage years, sometimes the power of God will come upon him, and he will start doing stuff that on a normal day he shouldn't be able to do it. Looking at his stature, looking at how his body is built and all that. That's some things he shouldn't do. But when the Spirit of God comes upon him, he's transformed into another man, and he starts doing things that he shouldn't do. Who knows this story I'm talking about? Everybody here is so smart. Okay, exactly. Thank you very much. So this is Samson. And 2 days ago, the Holy Spirit, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, the Holy Spirit was teaching me something about Samson. And he started showing me that Samson was a great man, predestined by God. And he was sent. My pastor used to say there are some people who are the went ones, and there are some people who are the sent ones. Someone like John the Baptist was the sent ones, because the Bible said in the book of John chapter 1, there was a man sent by God. So some people are the went. Nobody sent them any message. They just stood up one day and they went on their own. But then there are some other persons that they were specifically selected and sent. There was one time in Israel where David sent his men on a battle. And in that battle, his chief commandant was the one in charge of the battle, since David was not around. And there was somebody that David instructed them not to kill. So one thing led to another during the battle. As the battle was getting worse and all that, they killed that guy. So they were now looking for who will go and tell the king. So one guy came and said, send me. The chief commandant, I think it's Abner. Abner said, sit down, don't go. He said again, send me. Abner said, sit down, don't go. I'm looking for who to send. And then the guy stopped again, send me, please, sit down, I want to go. Abner said, oh yeah, go. So this guy ran with all his strength from the battlefield. He was running for days until he got to the palace where King David was. And when he got to the palace, he was running, he was sweating profusely and all that. You know how, if you watch Nigerian movies, you know what happens when a messenger is running to give the message to the king. So that was what happened. The guy ran and he fell flat in front of the king and he said, my king, you won't believe something just happened. You won't believe this and that. And somebody died. And then the king asked him who died. He told the king who died, but he did not have the full message. And because he did not have the full message, the king now said, oh yeah, sit down here. We are seeing another person running and this person is coming. That person is the sent one. That person was the real person Abner sent to give information to the king. This other one is the went one. Nobody sent him. He by himself decided to go. So, and he ran, even though he came first. It means if you go on an errand God did not send you, even when you come first, even when the whole world is celebrating you, you are on your own. So King David told him, oh yeah, sit down here, stand here. Let us wait for the sent one. So when the sent one came, he stood before the king and he told the king everything that happened. And this is because he has the full information. He was sent. Somebody gave him, he saw everything live, so he was able to explain what really happened to the king. But this other one only heard the gist. He heard the gist, he did not see what happened. And he didn't even know the full story. So he went. So when this guy came, so do you see the way King David benched that guy is the same way your generation will bench you if you run without a message. And every one of us here, truth be told, we have a message that has been given to us for the sake of our generation. And until you find that message, that's the only thing that makes you stand out amongst every other person. We have over 7.6 billion people in this world. It's cumbersome trying to see what makes you different from every other person. The whole crowd, if they bring 10 people here and they say 10 of you are actors or 10 of you are musicians, what will make you stand out of the rest of the other 10? It's your message. What you have been instructed to go and deliver. That's why when the Pharisees came to John the Baptist and they were asking him, who are you? Are you Isaiah? Are you Hezekiah? Are you this? He said, no, I am a voice crying in the wilderness. He was the forerunner and he understood his assignment. So when he left this assignment and he started doing something else, we can all see how his life went. So, as we are here currently now, there is, somebody said that there are two most important days in your life. The first day is the day you give your life to Christ. And the second most important day of your life is the day you discover purpose. A life without purpose is completely meaningless. Like, people who don't have any, they just wake up, stroll around, gist, laugh, play from morning to night, then the next day they continue. 2 months later, they are still doing the same thing they used to do before, and there is no direction in their life. It's a frustrating life. That's the reason why many people commit suicide, and they don't know why they are committing suicide. All they know is that this life is meaningless. All they know is that I'm not enjoying this life. There's nothing worth living for. There's nothing worth, dying for. What's not the need of being alive? Let me just commit suicide and die. Through my articles, I write. I'm a creative writer. Through my articles, God has used my articles, writing, like normal writing that we know that Sava will just explain now. I've had testimonies over testimonies of people who were at the verge of committing suicide, and they just read one article, and some of them, there was this lady that was so peculiar to me that she said she had already written her suicide note. She said, like, she's going to take this pill and die. But before she took the pill, she said, let her just go on Facebook and just look around for the last time. And when she went on Facebook, the first post she saw on a particular group, Head Start Africa, was my post. And she saw the post, she read it. She immediately chatted me up and she started telling me that this particular post just saved her from dying right now. That she snapped the suicide note, what she had already written, and she sent it to me. She was already at the verge of giving up. One other guy was, his own is that he has made up his mind already. And when I asked him, why do you want to die now? He said, life has no meaning. All his friends have gotten admission, is remaining only him. As stupid as that sound, people are dying, are committing suicide day by day for the simplest reason, for the most basic reason. And that's because they've not seen something tangible enough for them to live for. So as it's approaching December now, somebody is saying, this November is rushing too much. Let the November slow down. That she has not made enough money to do dirty December, to go and pepper them in Christmas. So most teenagers are now under pressure to prove a point, to impress, to show that they too they follow. And when they too they follow is not showing in their life, and all their friends are living large and all that, because everywhere now guys are doing Yahoo, even ladies too are doing Yahoo. And when you are not doing that Yahoo and there's no money in your pocket to show for and all that, you start feeling bad, thinking there's something wrong with you. And that has led many young people to commit suicide. So until somebody finds something worth living for and worth dying for, two things, worth living for and worth dying for, you have not started. And it's purpose that gives our life meaning. When you discover purpose, when you discover what will help you impact life, influence life, that's what makes you stand out of 1,000 people, out of the 7.6 billion people on earth. So you look at your life and people can look at you and say, your life is a blessing to me. Because of you, this is happening to me. Because of you, I'm alive. Because of you, I can make money now and take care of my family. Because of you, it may look small to you, but to them it's huge. And that's because you have positioned yourself to be a tool for God to use to bless other people. So, purpose discovery has its roots. We can connect purpose discovery to talent discovery. They're not the same thing. Your talent can connect you, can point you to your purpose. When you identify your talent, it can say, this is the road, follow this road. It is in itself, it is not purpose. So if, for example, you found out that you are talented in public speaking in itself is not your purpose. It's a tool. It's like when I want to serve you food and I put the garri and the soup on a tray and I'm serving you. That tray is a tool. It's not in itself. When I give you the food, you're not going to eat the tray. The tray is just a means to an end. That's what talent discovery does for you. So one most important thing that everyone should identify is what makes you stand out, what makes you unique. There's a description one of my mentors usually make. He says, when your father slept with your mom, that the sperm cell, there are millions of sperm cells that was chasing after the ovum of the woman. And out of all those millions, only one was able to fertilize. And like right from birth, you have been in a competition. Right from birth, you have been fighting, you have been striving. And if you could win in that place, it means there was a predestined purpose for you. That's why the Bible said in the book of Romans, said, the people waited in earnest expectations for the manifestations of the sons of God. For they have all been kept under subjection, not by their own will. It means that there are certain people currently, there's a group of people at the moment as we speak, there's a set of people currently who are waiting for the solution that you are carrying. I know you might not believe it, you might not believe that there's something special about your life, or you might not believe that you are unique or you are special or whatever. Probably because you grew up in a family where you didn't see your father growing up, so your friends called you a bastard, or you grew up in a house where they were not taking care of you, or you had low self-esteem issues, or depression issues, or suicidal attempt issues, or whatever, or poverty, whichever one. Those things combine to make us lose value, or to make us lose the sense of our importance as a person. But that does not deny the fact that we're unique. So if I take someone should please give me a 1,000 naira note. I need a 1,000 naira note, please, for an example. Oh, thank you very much, sir. So this is what? 1,000 naira note. Okay. So if I squeeze this money and I give it to you, will you take? I've squeezed it though.
I will take it.
So what if I spit on it? Will you still take it?
Of course, I will take it.
So if I throw it on the floor and
I will take it because
I match it, will you still take it?
Yes, sir.
What if I go to that dustbin and outside and I throw it inside the dustbin? Will you still take it?
I will still take it.
This is serious. If I go to the mud outside and I use mud and rub it on the body like this, will you still take it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will take it.
You will take it and wash it.
I will take it.
Okay.
Even inside shit, sir.
Oh, that's serious. But why will you take it even when you are seeing death on the body?
It's value now. I know the value.
So does that mean that the match I was matching it does not affect the value?
doesn't.
including the mud,
No, it doesn't.
even the physics.
No, no.
It doesn't affect the value. So it also means that the circumstances you yourself have passed through in life, probably you passed through a terrible situation that you've been suffering for so long, it means it does not affect your value as a person.
Yes.
So people might look at you and they're like, oh, you're not well dressed, oh, you don't have good clothes, you don't have good shoes. They are seeing the container, they're not seeing the intrinsic person, the inside person. Because every one of us, human beings, man, we are not our body. We are a spirit that has a soul living inside the body. So this body is a house. So if I come here now and I'm feeling bad, that probably I have big eyes. Big eyes, it's not me. It's a container that was given to me for me to, live successfully on earth. The truth is that if you don't have a body, you are not permitted to be on earth. You're not. The moment you lose sight of your body, or your body dies or deteriorates like this now, you are an illegal entity on earth. Even God had to take permission for him to do anything on earth, because he said even the heavens belongs to God, but the earth has it given to the sons of men. So he has handed everything over to us. That is why demons themselves, they know they are illegal entities and they cannot operate without a body. That is the reason why they go and possess somebody. They enter somebody. They enter a human being. They don't come by themselves. For them to oppress you, they will go and look for a witch or a wizard or a babala or somebody who is open enough to give them access to their body. So they will use that person's body and use the person's mind to torment you. But by themselves, they know they are illegal. That's the reason why when Jesus Christ saw that madman at Gadara that had legions, they were begging him that he shouldn't send them back, that in fact he should just send them to the pigs. It means they will prefer being in an animal than not being in anybody at all. So anybody at all that you have, anybody, a physical flesh, it's what gives us the legal, thank you sir, the legal grounds to be in this two-dimensional world. Cut out of your body, you will not be able to do those things. So our body is like a tool that helps us achieve God's purpose for us here on earth. The body is not you. You are your spirit, the person living inside. That's why if you read the book of Genesis, the Bible said that, and God made them. Then later again, he said, and God created them. That's two. He first of all create, then made, two times. So they were already existing as a spirit before he now went and he molded man with dust. And then he took what was already in existence and put it in a container that will make man living on this earth realm to be successful. So if I take a Coke bottle, for example, and I empty the Coke bottle and I give you the container, will you take it? You won't take it because the container is just... You say?
The mental you have removed it now.
Thank you! I like that word. Well, you have removed the main thing. So that other one that is there was just a tool to make the main thing presentable for us to drink. Because if Coke company said, oh, if you want to buy Coke, come with your hand, just come, pour it on your hand and drink, they won't last. But they needed what they are selling to be sustainable. So that as a result of that, they had to package it in something that will help you and I drink it very well. The most valuable and the most important thing here is what is inside. So if I take what is inside and I pour it in a cup, and I take the empty can and I keep it to one side. So I'm putting an empty can and I'm putting the Coke in a cup, even let's say a plastic cup. Which one will you choose? Exactly. And that's because you are after the tangible, you are after the real thing, which is the Coke itself. Now that Coke can be related to our spirit man. Back to what I was saying. There are some people who are the sent ones, and there are some people who are the went ones. Don't forget these words. So anytime somebody comes to you and you are probably seeing the person vibrate, ask the person, are you a sent one or you are the went one? Because there are so many people today who are doing things that nobody sent them. Somebody said, if God does not call me, I will call him. So some people, God did not call them. They went and they called themselves. They took their phone. They were flashing in peak. They started calling him. And he still didn't pick. They said, if you're not calling me, I will call myself. So they called themselves. And they are doing life. They are doing ministry. Or they are running races that nobody sent them. And that's the reason why it usually ends in frustration. But then when you are operating in your core, when you are operating in that thing which you have been assigned to do, that thing which you have been sent to do, it's like, for example, if there is going to be a competition in the animal kingdom, for example, and they said they are looking for 3 people who are going to run on a lane, 20 kilometers on a lane, and then they bring a fish, then they bring a rabbit, and then they bring a bird, and they say everybody must run here. Must run on this lane. The fastest runner, the person who gets to the prize first, will collect the gift. Who do you think will win? Now they brought fish, they brought a bird, and they brought a rabbit, and they're telling them they must run.
Rabbit.
You are saying it's a bird. A bird will fly. They said you must run. So who do you think will win? Why do you think the rabbit will win? Please give somebody the mic. I need somebody to explain to me why you think the rabbit will win. Okay, let's say rabbit is far. Let us use tortoise. A tortoise, a bird, and a fish. And then they are saying we need somebody, an animal that can run on this race, these 20 kilometers. The fastest person to get to the last place is the winner. Who do you think will win? Why?
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
The tortoise is not because it's wise or anything. The tortoise is made to walk on the ground.
Okay.
For fish, it can only function well in the river. That is where it's made to function. The tortoise actually can function in the river, but can also function on the surface. Then for bird cannot walk for too long, too fast. It's made to fly. So they were all programmed in a different way. Though they are all living creatures, but programmed in a different way of existence.
Beautiful. Please let's celebrate her. So as it stands, it's obvious that even though the tortoise is slow, somebody said it doesn't matter how fast you are running on the wrong direction, you will not get to your destination. So if, for example, I want to go to Port Harcourt, or let's say there's some people that live this kind of life, they just wake up and then they wake up, today I want to travel. Where are you traveling to? They don't know. And then they carry their bag, pack, and then they get to the bus park. And then they see this bus and they're shouting, Abuja, 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 Abuja. I'm like, I like the way this conductor is shouting Abuja, let me enter. And then they enter Abuja. While they are inside the Abuja bus waiting for the bus to full, they now heard another bus shouting, Kaduna, 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 Kaduna. And they are singing songs in that bus. Everybody is dancing. The person is like, I like the way people are dancing in this Kaduna bus. So let me join them. And he left the Abuja bus and entered the Kaduna bus. And then while he was in the Kaduna bus, he saw another bus going to Kwara State. Fine girls were inside the bus. See babes. And they say, I need to be around beautiful creatures. I don't want to be around ugly people. Let me join this Kwara bus. And he entered Kwara bus. And while he was there, he saw another bus shouting, Lagos, 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 Lagos. And then left that one and entered there. Do you know that if you come to that park by 6 p.m. in the night, you will still see the person jumping from one bus to another, or one bus to another. And that's because that person does not have a destination. But if, while he or she was still at home, he knew that I want to go to Lokoja. Now, only knowing that you're going to Lokoja will determine, number one, the kind of clothes you will pack. It will determine, you will know what are you going to Lokoja to do. What kind of house will you stay there? Like, it will determine a lot of things. It will affect how much you will even carry in your pocket. It will affect who you will call. It will affect every other thing, just knowing your destination. So, if you don't know your destination in life, you keep jumping from one bus to another, from one bus. That's why you see people do different things. I had a roommate when I was in school. She said, we were asking her, what does the father do? She said, her father do so many things. Anything he sees working, Utiishi. That's how she describes it. So if you ask her, what does the father do for a living? She say, my father do many things. So anything he sees that is working, Utiishi. And so when we were still asking her, there's nothing he could hold in his hand. And that's because she said he has tried drinks business. He has tried lightning business. He has tried so many businesses. Anyone his friend said, this one is working, he will leave everything he's doing. Tiishi in the next one. And then before you know it, things will happen, and then he will leave that one and Tiishi in the next one. And this is how he will keep jumping and jumping. If you go and look at that father today, he might not even have anything to do, because when you try to catch 10 rabbits, you won't catch anyone. But then, when you have one at heart, when you have one destination, you have just one. Okay, this is my focus. This is what I want to do. Apostle Paul said, one thing I do, forgetting every other thing. This one thing I do. So that's the reason why when he finished, he said, I have run a good race. He knew he has completed whatever he was doing, because he knew exactly what he was sent to do. He knew that he was sent to the Gentiles. Peter was sent to the Jew. When God tried to assign the Gentiles to Peter, because of Peter's mentality, he was not yet open-minded to accommodate other people who were not yet Christians as at then. He couldn't handle the assignment until God saw somebody who was rugged. Do you know it is better you are rugged in a wrong destination? God can see where you are heading to and see the tenacity at which you are using to run. He will see the energy, he will see the effort you are using to run, and then he will redirect your step. Because you are already doing all the right things, but you are doing them with the wrong motion. So when he finds that person, my father used to say that a lazy man, God rejects a lazy man, even the devil rejects a lazy man. Because the devil said, will not want to use you because you are lazy. You are unproductive. If he recruits you into his kingdom, you will not be able to do anything for him. You will not be productive. So God will reject you. Even the devil too will reject you. Imagine when even God and the devil is rejecting you because you are not able to do anything. But then when you are doing something and you are giving that thing your all, it may not necessarily be what you should be doing, but because you are willing to pay the price to achieve that one thing, you are willing to give your all for the growth of that thing, God will see your effort, he will see your heart, he will see that this person is committed to this thing. Apostle Paul thought he was doing God a favor by killing Christians. You know now, he thought he was fulfilling the law. It wasn't as if he was doing that because he hated God. No, he thought he was fulfilling the law, but he was in error. So when God saw his energy, God saw his tenacity, God saw how he was dedicated to what he was doing, what God had to do was to direct his focus, all that his steps are right. And can't you see that it was the same energy he was using, that was the same energy that he was now using for the things of God. Now even when the Holy Spirit himself told him, guy, if you go to this place, they will kill you, he still went. The man was rugged. There's enough ruggedity in his body. So he already had all the ingredients necessary to succeed in life. But he was doing it with the wrong motion until God redirected his step. So today, there's something I want us to identify, which is our talent. It is this thing I want to teach now is something people pay me as much as 30,000 naira for 1 hour to teach them, to help them identify, because so many people are struggling with depression, addiction, suicidal attempts, so many things, and that's because they've not found a meaning for their life. But the